I have a book in me. This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.
What's up, everybody? I'm the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole.
And I'm the writing coach, Dr. Oliver T. Reid, the relationship architect.
Welcome to Books-N-Brothas podcast. We're here another week. How was your week, bro?
Boy, my week has been a whirlwind. I've been going nonstop, trying to, get this thing created. You know how sometimes you got this creative thing inside you. You want it to kind of go, and you're working with a team, and you're just like, But at the end of the day, it's going to be a great product. That's been the kind of week I've been having.
For sure. It has been very hectic week for me. I have been in Nashville and then go to Nashville and my daughter, she like basically tore up her whole brake line. So while I'm in Nashville preparing my son for tour, I'm running back and forth to the mechanic getting her whole brake line changed out, which was over $500.
Hey.
So doing that, then we had to load up the van. We had to drive to Indianapolis yesterday, unload the van, load the tour bus, do the show. And let me see, what time did we get out of the show? We got our show at 10:30. I didn't get back to my hotel till probably about 11:30. Got up this morning at 5:30, took a shower, brushed my teeth, all that good stuff, hit the road, drove all the way back to Virginia, started working. Now we're doing a podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That's
Grind.
what Big Papa do. Big Papa.
Grinding. And they think just the CEO sit behind his desk. I got the nice banner behind me, so they think that's all I do. I grind. They don't know I've been doing this, man.
You're doing this. Walking on water. You've been walking on water for how many years out there, brother?
What I tell that cat, you don't know who you talking to. For our listeners, I had this guy try to tell me, where's my faith? And as if I don't have faith. And I was like, dude, you don't even know who you talking to. I was like, I've been on the water for so long, I can't even see the shore.
Yeah. I'm telling you, how long you been on the water? With that said, how long you been out here?
About 15 years I have been an entrepreneur and started my company. I started my first company 15 years ago. Started the publishing company 13 years ago. So in those earlier stages, I was doing primetime marketing and publishing at Vantage Group. And then, like I said, when I made that shift to strictly focus on publishing and not try to be everything to everybody, that's when I increased my revenue. That's when I started making the most money, when I became known for one thing, when I became known as the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole.
Awesome, bro.
So we didn't have a topic and we were just going to flow tonight. We were just going to talk like we do. Like, y'all don't know this. Me and my bro, we could start talking about something and we could talk for hours. So we kind of just wanted to let you guys in on how we just flow and how we talk and how we bounce stuff. And so that gave him asking me that question leads to me dropping this first point or first nugget on you guys. Focus on one thing. Like, become a specialist, become the expert, become the known go-to person for one thing. So one message, one product, one service. My manager, my business coach says it like this, like one product or one service. No, this is how I say it. One offer can equal $1 million. So you don't need multiple offers. You don't need multiple products. One offer can equal $1 million. That simple. And what my coach teaches, he teaches selling a product or service or package or coaching program, a program that's valued at $3,000 to $10,000. Now, if you're on that higher end and you're selling a $10,000 coaching program, all you have to do is sell 100 of those and you're at $1 million.
Wow.
Now, if you're selling a $97 ebook or even a $15 book, it's going to take a long time to get to $1 million. But that's why we said in a couple of episodes before, start with the end in mind. Start with what you want your book to do for you. So your book should just be the front end for you, which should lead to a back end of a coaching program or, you know, some type of training, a workshop, your conference and stuff like that. If you've ever heard me present, I always talk about the one at Grant Cardone as a case study. Grant Cardone has 5 different books that he's given away free as an entry level to get you into his funnel. But what he really wants to sell you is his 10X conference, where the smallest general admission ticket is $1,000. Now, his I think his VIP tickets are like $20,000. So you think about that. Going from a free book, what he really wants to sell you is his conference and his services, his products. What you got, bro?
Man, I like it. It goes back to the point that you always preach, we always talk about on this podcast as the book being the lead-in or the book being the business card to sell you to the package that you want. And I like what you broke it down. If it's 3,000 all the way up to 10,000. What your business coach have been sharing with you is so important because you have that range.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing we had, like you said, a lot of times, man, we had a great talk on last weekend, which a lot of times, and I'll say this in leading in, sometimes we want clarity in where to go, but that clarity comes in levels. Sometimes you might want to say, okay, I have this call. Right. Or somebody might be watching this podcast now thinking I'm going to get everything I need to know in this podcast when really it's a progression. Right. You may get one thing now, and it may take you 365 days for you to really get the next one. Right. You know, what you've invested in. So we've been talking about clarity. We've been talking about focus. And my biggest thing is, right, when you were talking, what I want to bring up is like, you may have like myself, I'm a creative. Kelly, we're creative. We have all these things inside. And sometimes it's so frustrating because some people, it's easy, because I hear you, some people it's easy for them to say, this is the one thing that I do. Right. Right. When you're creative, you know, what I'm learning too is that maybe my gift is to help other people create. Yep. Off of what I created. Right. So going back, you've been telling me for years. We've been talking about this for years. I think way back in early 2000s, bro, we was talking about the vending machine. And as you were talking about it, I was thinking about this vending machine. That the idea may be vending machine. That's the one thing you do. That could be your $3,000 or $10,000 offer. But inside of that, you got payday, you got chips, you got breath mints. You might have toothbrushes. Like I see a lot of vending machines now. It used to be all food, but now you got toothbrushes, a sewing kit could be in there. But at the end of the day, going back to what you said, it's one vending machine. So creating that creativity to have, you may have packed creativity inside, but it looks like that one offer. Exactly. You still have that one vending machine that you go to that vending machine and you pick D1, D8, but it's still one vending machine that collects all the payments.
Exactly, which is a great point, like you said. And I 100% agree with you. We're discovering, like you said, part of your release or part of what's going to probably give you fulfillment is helping other people produce and being able to use your creativity to birth things out. Because as a creative person, you have to create, period. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to create. You have to create. And man, I just got a word from that. I just got a revelation from that. Like God being the ultimate creator, he created something that continues to create.
It continues. And it was so powerful. That's so dope. Wow. But I had to say this because when we were talking, I'm giving people like the VIP or what we were talking about Saturday, it was kind of hard for me to rebrand some things I was doing, but I kept coming to helping people uncover their solution within. Because you got this creator that gives you this creativity for you to uncover. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's all about you finding, man. And I'm grateful to let people understand that it's not easy. But once you find it, that one thing that you've been called to do, man, it opens up for you.
Right. And it doesn't, you're not, hold on one second.
Yep. Yeah. So
This
when
is so ghetto right now. And I'm not cutting this out. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was just saying, handle your business over there. But my biggest thing is that's so true. Like, my ability to help other people create is what I know I've been called to do. And I talk to people, Kel, I'm sure you get this all the time. We have one phone call with clients.
Yeah.
And it's like their brain is fried. I mean, you sent some people our way, came the other day, and I was talking to a gentleman, not going to reveal his name, but he was like, wow. After I got off the call with him, he was like, wow, oh man, you opened up my eyes to this thing.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. It was just like flowing like water with me. And I was like, why don't you do this, and this? And he was like, yo, I had never thought about it. And this is somebody who, he said he spent a lot of money with high-level coaching and stuff like that. He said, well, you gave it to me so simple. And it was like, but I was helping him create. Now, on the other end, for me, sometimes it's a challenge to create that one thing. But with him, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. And it shows how we have our gifts from the creator to help other people create. But a lot of times I glean from you, I glean from other people to help me narrow down what I need to do. And that's been a journey because it's like I go on creation mode, like just like that. So what helped me is I'm visualizing that vending machine, going back to that. It's one vending machine in that particular location. I remember being in school, there was one, maybe like 2 or 3 vending machines in our high school that everybody was flooding to, and they'll be out and you run up to the next machine. But it was only at each machine, you only had one place to put the coins in, one place to put the cash, but you had all these different varieties.
So let me ask you this question. Mm-hmm. So after you talked to that author last week, how did you feel?
Man, I was like, I had to cut, and I don't know if you get this, Kelly, I had to cut myself off. Because first this is the real deal behind it. I was like tired, like it's on my schedule, and then he kind of booked, like I thought my day was clear, then it popped up, he just kind of randomly picked, and then I was like, But once I got on, it was like I was in the zone. I was like, I wasn't tired of it.
It fed you, right? Because that's when you know you're using your gift. Listen up. This is how you know you're using your gift and your purpose. When you're pouring it out, you're giving it to somebody else, and it rejuvenates you.
Yeah.
We just gave you a huge nugget right there.
Wow. When
I'm doing what I do, there's no greater feeling than when I'm operating in my purpose and I'm using my gift. Ty, see, almost like a basketball player, Ty has seen me on stage just get in this zone where I'm operating at the highest level of my gift. And afterwards, we laugh because I just go off. Like, I go crazy. I just say stuff. But I be operating in my gift, and I be operating in this place that feels so good. And I be so hyped. I be so pumped up, and I can't sleep. I can't eat. I can't, do certain things. Yeah. Because it feels so good. You have to bring yourself and come down. But very important. Y'all, I don't want y'all to miss this, man. We're giving out some good stuff if you're paying attention. So think about that one thing. Even if that one thing is to help other people create and pull from the different gifts in you, you need to figure out what that is. Because the key is not cutting off your gifts. It's packaging it so you attract the people and your ideal clients and the people that you want to work with. And it's simple enough that people understand what it is you do. You should be able to say what it is you do in one sentence to where someone don't even have to ask any other questions.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love it, man. And it's been a challenge, still growing. I always say this too, man, even with like speaking. And, my book is kind of like my second way of speaking. But writing books and doing whatever literary, but I'm a speaker by nature. So and I've talked to a lot of people who are speakers. We've been in this funk because with the pandemic, we kind of just been in this funk. Like I think it going back from March, me and you together would have hit 3, 4, 5, 6 different spots by now, where we go and speak and train, and that's how we get rejuvenated. And it's good that we talking now, and we're talking virtually, but I get rejuvenated speaking from churches to speaking to people. That's what I do. And so, now having to have to kind of harness that back and think about other creative ways to do it. There's a lot of people in the funk, especially because when you're in your gift, it's been times where I'm in that gift and I don't know that there's hours that pass by.
Yep.
You know, there's some people that, you know, I've been told where people come and say, man, I know you can speak for 2 hours and I'm good.
Right.
But somebody else can speak for 10 minutes and my whole attention span
Right.
is done. And I think that's because a lot of people who are speaking, Kelly, I want to ask you this on the other side. I know you know a lot of people who are saying they're not criticizing, but just keeping it all the way funky. A lot of people who are saying they're speakers are really not. You know, created to speak. What I mean, they might say something, but a lot of people who are saying that they are speakers, that there's their gift. I think a lot of times when you really know who you are, it keeps you from jumping on every roller coaster ride and trying to be all these things.
For sure. Definitely, man. They say that, you know, public speaking is one of the biggest fears, you know, for people. And I don't know if you relate to this. I never wanted to be a public speaker. I never wanted to be a preacher. I never wanted to be a minister. I didn't ever want to be in the pulpit. I didn't even want to be in front of people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I liked, and to be honest with you, I enjoy playing football because I could put on a helmet and pads and I could be almost in a costume and I can hit people. I can get out that aggression and it was legal to hit people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I never, like, this ain't what I wanted. Like, I never said, bro, I just wanted to be successful. I wanted to be a successful entrepreneur. I didn't want to speak. I didn't want no podcast. I didn't want to be known. I didn't want any of that. And you know this. I'm really a great server.
Yeah.
Like, I will be in a room and folks not know who I am, and people like my bro or anybody else would be like, yo, you don't know who that is. And I'd be like, I'm just a servant. Like, that's just who I am. I remember one time, bro, I'm finna make you laugh. You remember them jokers was at your house that one time? And them jokers, your wife had made that cornbread and stuff. And them I was like, why are they here? Like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I came to my bro's house to chill. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm at your house, I'm just, bro, it ain't no Mr. Kelly Cole. It ain't no publisher. I'm at your crib. I got my, you know, my slides on. I'm going to eat cornbread till I'm full.
That chicken, famous chicken.
Oh, that chicken your wife made. And I'm going to go in there, and I'm going in the cave. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
But this one particular night, there was this couple over there. It was two couples over there, and they bought their bad ace kids over there. And bro is like, yo, Kale, why don't you come talk? I was like, I don't want to talk to nobody. And this cat is, you know, this young cat, he got his chest poked out, and he think he doing something. He's like, and Ty's like, you don't know who that is. Telling the dude he don't know who I am. And I'm like, I don't care if he does. You know what I'm saying? I was just, but like I said, I just said all that to say, like, I'm really a person, and most people don't believe this about me. I'm really an introvert. And to get to really know me, that's when I become extroverted. But if you don't know me, if we're not close or whatever, you don't really know me. People think that they know me, but they don't know me. Like, I have so many levels and so many layers of stuff. Like, very few people know me, and my bro knows me. And he knows, like, we just had this conversation before we pushed record. He's like, bro, I know you was locked in. You was working on something because he just knows when I am. So.
Yeah, and I think that's the powerful part of getting to know somebody. And I would say the same thing. I think that's why we get together so long, get along so good, because I'm that same way. I never thought I would be an international speaker. I never thought I'd be, you know, whatever. I've always been introverted. Like, I don't even hang with a lot of people in my circle. You know, some people have to be coached on, hey, keep your circle small. I've always had a small circle. Like, you know, but people don't believe that, you know, that you're just super outgoing because of what we do. But I love the fact that when we get together, I can be myself. I can be vulnerable. And I think it's another tip I want to talk about. If you want to be successful in business, it is about the value you place on time. Yeah. There's a lot of people, and I was just thinking about this, there's a lot of people that go hard, you grinding, you making money, but you don't get a chance to enjoy life or have that circle of people that you can just be like, hey, this is just me. You know, I've seen you grow like leaps and bounds since I've known you. Yeah. You know, but you always had that grace of that perception, like, this dude is huge. From the time I met you, hearing from another brother, I was like, this dude is huge. And I don't look at that at millionaire or 10 million. You know, at the end of the day, we go, we trip, we have fun. We're looking forward to having fun in a couple of weeks here. But we're going to just be chilling and hanging out. Like, I think that's so valuable in all your grinding and all your success. Have somebody that gets you. You know what I mean? I think I see a lot of business people, bro, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of authors who get burnout because you got this creativity, you got this grind, but you're around people who don't understand you. They're feeding off of you.
Right.
You know, I think that's important that when we get together, bro, we kind of generate each other. We rejuvenate each other.
Sure.
And I think that's important because I know you may get a lot of people that ask this. I had people hit me up even recently like, well, how do you keep doing what you're doing and how do you keep going? And I say, because I had those times when I can call my bro up or we hang out and I'm like, I ain't doing nothing this weekend.
Right.
We gonna go just chill. We're gonna hit the buffet. We're gonna go shop. Whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna chill. And I think that everybody needs that.
Yeah.
If anything that the pandemic has taught me, man, is the simple things that I used to take for granted, like just being on the road.
For sure.
Or just being able to say, hey, I'm gonna just pop up somewhere else. I think that's good with. And I knew it was funny because I know that energy. I know when you're going to get it. Like I know when you like going to get it. You know when I'm in that zone, we can kind of see it. And I think that's important for you to surround yourself with people that can pour back into you, that can serve. I always say this, bro. We tag team. When I say this literally, Kelly would come in and just be like, he set up everything. I love traveling with my bro because like, boom, he keep me on point. He like 30 minutes early, like, bro, you need to be here. I'm like, we got an hour or two. He said, but I know you, bro. You need to be here at such and such time. We kill it, and it's his turn. You know, or, you know, if say it's his turn, or maybe it's just the whole trip is about going and supporting each other. And I'm thinking that is, you don't have to be, my other point I want to say, you don't have to be unethical or hate on somebody to be successful.
For sure. For sure. I just, to your point, before we got on the call, I was just helping out a fellow publisher. It's it's a young lady that's part of my mastermind group. And she just, you know, needed some information. And I just gave it to her because, man, somebody said something to me that like opened up my eyes. I've never been a hater. I've always known, if you've known me or heard me spoke any amount of time, I've always used this quote. It don't matter how many people do what it is that you do. Like they don't have my anointing. So I don't care how many publishers there are out there. None of them have my anointing. None of them have the calling that God has put on my life, and they can't steal my sheep. The word simply says, hey, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they won't follow. So I can't fear that she's going to take anything from me, because anybody that's a call to her, for her to help and for her to reach, that's who they're called to. They're not called to me. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it's about, man. It's about iron sharpening iron and helping people. Oh, back to that quote. I didn't say what I heard this person said. They said every day someone is turning 18 years old who is your ideal client. So think about how many people's birthday that is today, and they're turning 18, and they have a desire for what you offer. So the desire is already there. You just got to channel the desire to you. So we're never going to run out of prospects. We're never going to run out of leads. We're never going to run out of customers. We're never going to run out of clients, because every day there are millions of people who are turning 18 who are you know, our ideal clients and customers.
That's crazy, and I think that's I'm a firm believer on that. Nobody can do. I always say nobody can bake a cake like you. Nobody can do whatever. You are that solution in there. I always say you are a solution to a well thought out plan. You know, and I think that's the powerful part of this. Like I'll give you an example of what happened to me today. Last night I was somewhere. I think one of my favorite stores, Costco. And I was thinking about my daughter. She just graduated Radford. She's amazing. You know, it's amazing, and just the gifting and talent. So I heard about a program, and I told her about a program. And one of the things I'm liking about her now, she's 21 and she's starting to listen. Right now, she's one of the only children right now that's kind of like listening. So I'm like, yo, baby girl, I'm gonna put you in this program. I know you got this degree, but I'm saying you need to get a trade.
Right.
So I said, hey, you need to get a trade and you need to do whatever because she got a marketing business. She's already doing stocks. She's already doing her thing. She's trading stocks. I'm like, okay, cool. But also, that's creating good. But what happens if the stock market crash? Like, you need to have some kind of hustle. So I got in these Adobe. She's doing some website designs. She's doing blogs, whatever. But I was pouring into her. And so yesterday I was at Costco. I seen this jacket. And making a point, I said, okay, I'm going to get this jacket. I'm just going to give her a jacket just because. She didn't know I was doing it because I'm like, she's listening and being obedient. She didn't ask for it. So I FaceTime her and I'm like, hey, what you like this jacket? She said, oh, I love it. I love it. And then she looked at her friends and was like, which one should I pick? And I looked at her and said, which one you want?
Right.
Quit looking at asking them like which one they want. But what I'm talking about, the law, what you're saying, the law of reciprocity or the law of you helping that other person out. So I'm sitting here working today because I'm working 9 to 5. I'm doing some other stuff, doing my own business, doing everything. So I'm sitting there and she FaceTimes me and she's like, yo, I need to get in the house. I'm like, well, there's people at the house. Once you go, asking to get in the house. So I'm not thinking, I'm still trying to do whatever. So she texts me again and said, I'm outside your job. I'm outside of that door. So I said, okay. So I get off the call, I go outside to the door. And the blessing of it is she's outside and she was like, hey, she's videoing me and I'm coming up. She's videoing me, bro. And she has a bag, a gift with stuff in it saying, hey, I just want to give you the car. Open the car first. Open the car. She's like, thank you for being the best dad in the world. I appreciate you, da-da-da-da-da. And here's some shoes, right? And I was just like, the law of reciprocity, something that I didn't give that out for anything in return, but it's showing her that she's listening and she's also growing. So that's what, once you give out, you said it on another call, those seeds that you plant, it's going to come back.
I don't feel like preaching this evening.
but it hit me here. It's kind of like one of those things like, wow, she's seeing.
For sure.
The thing about most 21-year-olds not going to take the time to come to their dad's job. They're not going to take the time to even go find something. It wasn't a birthday. It wasn't a special, it wasn't anything happening. And so I'm looking at that. It's like, okay, that's a paradigm shift. That's something that could be shifted to this next generation. You hit on it when you talk about the 18-year-old client.
For sure.
And I'm like, but she's learning. I'm like, you need to create a business of your own. You need to create something of your own.
For sure. What you sow will grow. Yep. What you sow will grow. Period. Like, and I'm a believer in that. Like, I'm a giver 100%. Like, quick story, and then we're gonna get out of here, bro, because we giving them a lot today. And they get they get a behind the scenes look at how we talk normally. Like, we didn't have no topic, but I feel like we provided tremendous value by just sharing and seeing how, we kick it and we talk as brothers. But dang, what was I going? What was the story? But what did you say that I want to
the law of reciprocity?
Law of reciprocity. Oh, about giving. Okay. I remember when I quit both of my jobs and I started my business on the internet, I started my marketing company. I was literally, people think I'm joking, I was literally bringing in $25 a week. So I was selling one product for $25 a week, right? So I was making $100 a month, trying to take care of wife and 3 children at the time. And guess what? I still tithe and gave an offering. Every week, every Sunday, I would put in church $3. I would put in $2.50 for my tithe, and I always gave a 50-cent offering, right? What that showed God is that he can trust me with a few. Like, I would be faithful over a few. And that way he would make me ruler over much. A lot of people who may be listening to this podcast, you may be a believer, you may be not. I'm not even going to get into that, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to give you a principle that I live by, and I believe in the word. The word says, if God can trust you with a few, he will make you ruler over much. If he couldn't trust me to give him $3 out of 25, what makes me think that if he gave me a $25,000 contract, that he would trust me to give him $2,500 or $3,000?
Preach out.
Preach out. So a lot of y'all are praying for $1 million, or you're praying for this large amount of money, but you haven't been faithful over what God has already put in your hand.
Wow.
Now, I've learned as I've grown, it's not my job to try to convince you to be a giver, to tithe or whatever. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to tell you how it has been a blessing in my life, how I've received, hundredfold blessings from seeds I've sown. And I've sowed so many seeds and continue to, they're always coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the seeds are always coming up. I always got a harvest. I always got something because I'm always blessing people. I'm always giving. I'm a tithe payer. I give. So I just encourage you to do that if you're not. But it ain't my money. It's God's money. So if he don't have a problem with you, go ahead, bro. You can get the light back on.
Go ahead.
If you don't have a problem with you not giving him what's his, then who am I to get in you an argument about somebody else's money? It ain't my money. I'm just telling you the effects it has had on my life. But with that being said, bro, what else you got for him before we get out of here?
Man, I think that's really good, man. And, you can cash up your. And I'm joking.
Somebody.
But I think it's just good, man, to really just talk. And one of the things that we were, learning to do on this podcast is really follow the lead of what's in our heart to share with you. So tonight, a lot of people will get nuggets out of what we're talking about because it wasn't scripted. This is the real deal.
Yes.
Two entrepreneurs, two brothers coming together, busy schedules, but committed to bringing you quality content. And so my biggest thing is thank you for listening today.
For sure. Thank you guys so much. Once again, make sure you follow us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Like us on Instagram. Share these episodes, please, with somebody. And subscribe to us on YouTube. If you want to book us for a virtual event, shoot us an email, books-n-brothas@gmail.com. If you want one-on-one coaching, writing coaching, Doc got you. If you want publishing and marketing, I got you. Just shoot us an email, books-n-brothas@gmail.com. And with that being said, you don't have to get it right.
You got to get it going.
All right, bro. I'll holler at you, man. Love you, man.
I have a book in me.
This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award-winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.